Come, Jesus, come. Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray. Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the day. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break, but I'm holding on to a hope that won't fade. And come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt and right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. Deep down I know this world isn't home. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. There'll be no war, and there'll be no chains when Jesus comes. Let today be the day. You come for the weak and the strong just the same, and all will believe in the power of his name. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt and right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. Deep down I know this world isn't home. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. One day he'll come and you'll stand face to face.
Amen. Face to face.
Come and lay it all down, 'cause it might be today.
Oof.
The time is right now. There's no need to wait. No, your past will be washed. But rivers of grace, oh, come, Jesus, come. We've been to heal every hurt and right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. Deep down I know this world is in hope. Come Jesus, come Jesus, come, yeah. Come Jesus, come Jesus, come.
Amen. So I guess I didn't get my camera working yet, so I'm sure you guys can hear me, but we're going to go ahead and go without the camera tonight. So hello. Let's go through and see who we got. Tammy Mundy, Boxer Heather, Barbara Pugliese, Monk, Lori Hayden, welcome. Sherry Thomas, Tammy Green, Jackie, Priscilla Victor, Ohio Light, Jerry Plus, Step over on X. Well, good to have you. Belinda Slender, Yvette, Barbara Pugliese. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Kathy Smith, Annette Park, Jean Shannon. Many. Let's see. I think I've got everybody from what I can see. Bonnie, welcome. This isn't my home. We're just passing through. Patricia Canini, welcome, guys. So I don't know if you guys have seen Debbie Robinson. Welcome. I don't know if you guys have seen his testimony about this song, but we're going to go ahead and show you that too, real quick.
Come, Jesus, come.
No, I've written lots of songs, but there's something special about Come, Jesus, Come. I can think of two monumental moments in my life. One is when I gave my life to Jesus, salvation. The other, I think, is the moment where I truly started to long for Jesus to return. Because as a Christian, I can tell you, I can always say, hey, I believe that Jesus is returning. But I think I kept it in the background of my faith because it's like I had misconceptions. Like it was either this freaky post-apocalyptic Mad Max scenario, or it's this like, hey, I have plans, Jesus, things I want to see done in my life. Do you think maybe you could wait to return till I see them through, as if they're so much better than what he has in store? In Revelation, it says that there'll be no more mourning, no more crying, no more death, for the old order of things is past. It sounds so good. And one of the last things we read in the entire Bible, in the book of Revelation, is the Spirit and the bride say, come. The Spirit, because the Spirit of God is longing for Jesus to return. And the bride, because the Spirit in us should be longing for Jesus to return. And it's not like we're sitting around so heavenly minded that we're no earthly good, just waiting for Jesus to return. No, you're going to build better here. You're going to love better here than you ever have before when you do it towards the return of Jesus. And listen, today, right now, as I'm doing this thing, we are in an unprecedented time in history. And right now, I know that fear is welling up, and anxiety and all these things, depression, addiction is on the rise, overdoses are on the rise. All these different things are happening right now. Suicide. If you don't know what to pray, then join me in crying out with the Spirit of God. Come, Jesus, come.
Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt.
All right. right, guys. So there's some news coming out. There's things being said. I want to show you guys some stuff that I've come across. Let me get rid of that. Sorry about that. And you guys, I'm just going to show it to you. You guys you make your decisions on what you think of it, but I'm going to show it to you. So let's take a look at this.
Okay, so when we're done with the audit, there is still the opportunity to challenge the fact that we have multiple ballots with the very same signature.
I don't know if challenge is the right word, but
So
until we get
we're
it,
challenging.
We'll go ahead and count the ballots.
right,
Keep going forward,
we need you to move forward.
But we will separate out and count those and add those in. But there's going to be an asterisk saying these ballots have the same thing.
And again, we know that you have a concern with this precinct, and as soon, when you get done with the audit part of it, not an investigation, not counting, that's not your role right now, this very minute. So what I need you to do is complete the audit so we can get a number of how many ballots were in this can when you started counting, and we can move forward from there. Okay, so what I need for you guys to do right now is to finish the audit process.
We'll have a number.
We'll have a number. We can't
separate them out.
whether valid or invalid. We'll have
That is not the process right now. The process right now is for you to put them in the piles where they belong, and for the presidential vote, and count the presidential votes. We understand that there is possibly an issue with this precinct. We understand that. But what I need for you to do right now is to finish the presidential race audit, not separate them out, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay, but I need you to continue the process right now, please.
You realize that the former state representative had issues with counting ballots that may be invalid.
I understand, but until we get a count, we need that piece done first. We need the audit piece done first because that's why we're here. And we will look at the numbers. Okay? And I understand that there may be an issue. And I understand your concerns. So if we can complete the audit piece right now,
Okay.
then we can move forward, okay? Thank you.
So I thought that was interesting. I don't know what you guys thought about that, but they were trying to point out that there were several
I
ballots,
don't have the counts.
several ballots
And we understand.
with the same signature on them, which, that's kind of crazy. And she just wanted them to count them, wanted to count them. So also breaking, Fulton County counted 20,713 votes that did not exist in the 2020 election, according to a public records request. And in addition to the problems detailed above, the original election night vote count includes results for 10 advanced voting tabulators for which Fulton County has no records. That is, the tabulators do not exist. There are no poll open tapes, no daily status tapes, and no poll closing tapes. We submitted open records requests to Fulton County specifically seeking the 10 tabulator tapes, by Fulton County responded by saying that they had no such records. To follow up, we sent 2 emails to the Fulton County Records Department and the Fulton County Custodian of Records, Steve Rosenberg, seeking clarification to determine if the records were missing or if they exist. The Records Department replied, "The records do not exist. See attached emails and official certification." So it looks like they've got the numbers here. And the total turns out to 20,713. And if we remember, in the state of Georgia, President Trump only needed, was it 10 or 11,000 votes to win Georgia, right? So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then here we've got.
Let's just go here.
You guys see how that crowd just standing around being peaceful, and all of a sudden they start getting shot at. They got you know it's wild, really wild, really wild. Oh, here's another one, guys, that is very interesting. So a former acting CIA director has admitted to Congress that he organized the letter that falsely portrayed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation in an effort to influence the 2020 election in favor of Joe Biden, and that he did so at the direction of current Secretary of State Antony Blinken. And that's on justthenews.com accountability. So, it seems like there's a lot of stuff coming out here recently, that would suggest that the people that went to January 6th had every right to go there and address their grievances because they believed, amongst a lot of other things that they had been paying attention to, that there was some issues or some irregularities with the 2020 election. And I got to say, I agree. And that's, with all the stuff with the COVID things going through and finding out the vaccines aren't actually what they as safe as they say they are. There's just so many reasons as to why people felt that, they had a right to be there. And according to the Constitution, we have a right to go to address our grievances to our Congress people and so forth. And here's another one here from Maricopa County. Let's take a look at this.
In the registration server that was public facing did have unauthorized access to that. In cybersecurity terms, it was breached. We know that the county has accepted that as an unauthorized breach because they actually issued a letter to a small subset of the voters who were affected by that breach. And they issued that in January of 2021. In that letter, they did acknowledge that there was unauthorized access in November to that server. Okay, so that's one item. The second item is it has become readily apparent in the course of our analysis that there are severe cybersecurity problems with the way the election management system and network was maintained. Okay. For example, if you walk into an average home computer, you will find that the antivirus definitions that protect that system from malware have been updated within the last week. You will find that there have been system security patches sent by Microsoft or by Apple, typically within the last week. Microsoft does it weekly. And you would find that that system is patched and the antivirus definitions are up to date. Sadly, that is not the case for any of the endpoints that we have looked at inside of the Maricopa County election management system.
Sorry about the background noise.
The last time that the antivirus was updated on these systems was the date that the Dominion software was installed on the systems. That happens to be August of 2019.
So I don't know why all this stuff is just now recently coming out. Here, take a listen to this.
Tier system of justice as a result. Back when Devin Nunes and I ran the Russiagate investigation, the biggest concern I have going forward is the politicization and weaponization and creation of a two-tier system of justice as a result. Back when Devin Nunes and I ran the Russiagate investigation and exposed the FISA corruption, we recommended a slew of fixes so it never happened again. Unfortunately, Congress chose to allow 702 FISA to basically be reauthorized. What does that mean? What is 702? It's fancy for foreign intelligence surveillance. It means me as a former national security prosecutor and intelligence operative would go overseas and manhunt terrorists. That's what it's for. But the FISA court in April of 2022 publicized an opinion that said the FBI used it illegally 275,000 times domestically against Americans, 16 different occasions against those affiliated with January 6th, 19,000 times domestically against donors to a congressional campaign, and wait for it, 24,000 separate times against Americans and groups in and around January 6th. That FISA process has been turned on its head, redirected inwards, and anyone who says, oh, that's just a Republican conspiracy speak, that's the FISA court that rescinded Rod Rosenstein's illegal surveillance of Donald Trump twice based on our investigation, and now they do it again, and they prove the FBI and DOJ have weaponized justice, and the Republican leadership in Congress allowed it to be reauthorized essentially through the next election cycle.
So what will this mean in terms of the FBI, Christopher Wray, going into the next election?
Well, that's just it. Christopher Wray goes to Congress and says, I fixed it all. We have more training. Well, unfortunately, when you have the police officers, the cops in this country who break the law, we can't rely on themselves to police themselves. That is a communist form of a police representation. What we have to have had done is Congress to put forth a bill that put in cops from Congress in the FISA process at the FISA court, limiting their abuse of this power. I mean, just think of it. If Chris Wray and Merrick Garland and company utilized the FISA process to manhunt terrorists that were illegally coming into our country through our southern border, we wouldn't lose 24 of them based on their own testimony. And so what Chris Wray has now done is weaken American national security and redirected one of the most sensitive intelligence apparatuses against elections and those protesting their free speech right within America. And every time the FISA court asked the FBI, why did you allow your agents to do this? Their answer was, I could not recall. And they gave them a get out of jail free card. And the Republican majority, I know this is harsh, rewarded them for breaking the law and allowing this election interference to continue through 2024, mainly against Donald Trump.
Wow, there's.
So I thought that was interesting. Lots of interesting.
The biggest concern I have going forward is the politicization
coming out here lately. You know, it's just amazing the things that have come out. Nobody told you Day 6 was supposed to be peaceful. At least that's what the protesters thought before the police fired rubber bullets and tear gas into the crowd. So here's another just quick video here of January 6th that shows that, you know, that the crowd was actually being peaceful before they got fired upon. So, you know, more peaceful people there at the Capitol, you know, and it's shocking, honestly. So federal judge warns of Jan 6 case backlog as Supreme Court weighs key obstruction statute. Defendants seek prison release, delays in sentencing, and delays in trials. So the whole Supreme Court thing that A.J. Fisher has got out about the 1512 charge is making an impact already, even though it's not going to be heard and decided upon until possibly early spring or late June is the estimation, according to this article. So, you know, it's affected, and things are happening. And here, take a look at this. I mean, this is Joe Biggs, one of the leaders of the Proud Boys, on January 6th, and listen to what he said.
I'm here with Joe Biggs, and we're at the base of the Washington Monument. Yo, Biggs, give me an update on what's going on, man. Number one, first with Enrique, and then you told me something this morning, what happened with Airbnb.
Yeah, so Enrique's been ordered to stay away from D.C. until his court hearing, and that's in 6 months. So that's going to be going on for a while. He's going to have to lay low. And then this morning, I woke up and found out that we've been kicked out of our Airbnb. I guess that's what happens when I put my name on the Airbnb instead of using someone else's. But hey, I never claimed to be perfect, so my bad on being a fucking retard there. But now we're standing outside of the fucking Washington Monument right here, and we're gonna fucking get everybody together and kind of, cruise around and see what's going on, kind of get a good feel for the day. Find out about what events are happening tonight around the time when the sun starts to go down, because we know that's when Antifa likes to go out and start fucking attacking people as they leave, as we saw last night in some areas. So we want to try to go ahead and do as much risk mitigation as we can, find the areas that we need to get located at, and try to,
And
protect
what
some
do
of
you,
these people.
what do you think? Do you think that people will be out tonight?
Of course.
Yeah.
No one flew out here to fucking sit here and give up and walk the fuck home. People came out here to fucking to do shit.
It depends though on what happens today, right? Really.
Oh, if it gets contested, people are going to be in the streets. If it doesn't, people are going to be in the streets. Regardless, tonight's going to be a fucking shit show to remember for ages.
So what I get out of that is, he had no idea that anything
I'm here with Joe Biggs, and we're at the base.
going to be taking place at the Capitol. They were expecting there to be a reaction from whether or not they certified the election or not. And that's where they were expecting there to be issues, is people being upset with them certifying the election, not there to interfere with a peaceful transfer of power. That's what that video shows me. Here, I know it's about 7:30, so right after this, I don't know if you guys seen this, but I thought this was pretty cool. We can look at this real quick.
I don't wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Sometimes life is good, but then the trouble comes my way. But whatever happens, Lord, I thank you for this day. When I'm feeling troubled, I lift my hands and pray that your will be done in the rain or sun. No, it's a beautiful day.
I don't wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I may fall down on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
All right, I just wanted to share that with you because I thought that was pretty cool. Those are the types of things that we need to be seeing instead of all the negative things that we tend to be seeing all the time. So I thought that you guys would like that. We'll go over here and check the stream over at the Vigil and see if they're getting started yet. Well, we know that song will give a copyright, so we're going to hold off until we see something taking place that is actually them speaking or doing the prayer or whatever. I thought I would share that with you. I'd like that a lot. I thought you guys would like that. It's pretty cool. Those are the things we need to be seeing and, uplifting. And remember that even through the good things, the bad things, we need to thank God for all things, because all things work together for the good who love Him. And I can tell you this much: I love Him today, and I thank Him for everything, and that I appreciate, I just pray that his will be done in all things in my life. So, that's where we're at. That's what we're going to keep doing, and thanking him for everything that he provides for us in our lives. So, we've got Mama in here. Love you, Mama. See if we got anybody else in here that I didn't mention earlier. Dana, Jean Shannon. I think I mentioned you earlier. We could go over and look at the Rumble chat real quick and see who all we got before we get started. Give me just one moment, and we will check that out. Excuse me. We got Nana Bear, Hugva, Susan K. Spencer, Christy L. Looks like that's all I see at this point, at least in the chat. I'm not sure how many are watching. Looks like 33 watching at the moment. So thank you all for being over there, sharing it out, getting the stream out. Really appreciate that. Real quick, we'll check Getter and see how that is doing. See who we got over there. Let me see if anybody is chatting at the moment. Let's see. Live profile. Let me see. Take a second. Your channel is offline. Did I not go get my stream set up over on Getter? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I didn't get it set up correctly. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Or maybe I just went into it the wrong way here. Give me just a moment. That don't look like it went live. Oh, wait. Yes, it is live. Just one second. All right. Okay, yes, it is set up correctly, but I don't see anybody in the live chat at the moment, but it looks like we have had, I'm not sure how many views at this point. I don't know where to find, I'm not used to looking at it on the 130 views. So there are people over there watching it. Appreciate you all. Usually SL20, Andy M. There's usually several of you that are helping share this out, and we greatly appreciate that. Everybody over on Getter. Now on Facebook, let's see who we got over here on Facebook real quick before they get started. If they aren't already started, let me check and see if they're getting started. Not yet. So we'll go ahead and look at Facebook and see who we got going on over here. Just a moment, if you don't mind. Well, that is not the right one. See page, there we go. There should be a live stream going on over here. If I can find it, there it is. Looks like we've only got one in the chat at the moment. But thank you for being over there. We greatly appreciate you. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Looks like Tammy's over there. I imagine Mary McDonald will be over there at some point. Just thank you all for helping get this shared out. We really appreciate you and supporting us. Even though we can't be down there right now live at the Vigil, we still are doing our best to be able to bring the vigils to you and bring you whatever news and stuff that is coming up. It looks like we're getting ready to do Pledge of Allegiance and prayer. So I will go ahead and mute myself, and we will.
Father God, we come before you once again. Each day we turn to you to refresh our soul. We reinvigorate our spirit. that we could continue to fight the struggle, the war that you have put in front of us. And we thank you for that you have chosen us, the nobody, to do your work, to do your will. So we are obedient to your will, knowing that you will provide for us, and you will be with us. Father, this evening we especially pray for that you will raise up leaders here in Congress. Give them raise up leaders that are courageous, that have that are your people, that know you and willing to stand justice and righteousness against all odds, against the dark forces that wants to tear this country apart, that wants to persecute anyone who opposes them. So we ask for these leaders to stand up in this time of need, in this time for the soul of America. That America will be great in your, because we turn back to you, we acknowledge you, Father, as our God and the God of America, the God of this nation, so that your blessings will once again be upon this land. Heal this land, heal the people, heal us. Thank you this evening. Pray for our patriots. Pray for you to help us to overcome any divisions, to prevent those that want to divide us, want to turn each person against another. We ask that you help us to be united, one heart, one spirit, because we believe in one God, and you are the one. I praise and give you thanks. I ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's right.
One of the four beasts saying, come and see.
Okay, what I do want to say is, there are so many good things that are happening for Jan 6ers right now. These arguments that are going to be put in front of the Supreme Court are really, really important, and they have such an impact on, 300 plus Jan 6ers. And our energies and our focus and our prayers need to be so focused on that Supreme Court. And I know that the Democrats have sent a letter to the Supreme Court asking for Clarence Thomas to recuse himself with anything dealing with Trump. And I'm curious, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that is a fair and just, because of, his wife Jeannie? She was very involved in a lot of things, and they believe those people. I have no idea. That's why we need a real investigation. That Jeannie Thomas was involved in, lots of things dealing with Jan 6. So, that's an important issue that I think that I have my own opinion about it. But what I do know is that we need to be in prayer, and we need to be focused on those judgments. And, a lot of these Jan 6ers are coming up, they're being sentenced, and they're going to their BOPs, and they're leaving the Patriot Pod and all that. So, Christmas is a really tough time of year, and I do want to touch base on that because we will have Christmas out here like we normally do. We'll get here at 6, I think is a good time. How does that work for y'all, or do y'all want to do 5? 6 is good. I'm looking at all my peeps. Is that good? I don't know who wants to join, but if you do, we'll be here at 6. And, we'll do what we've done is the meat potato gravy, and then y'all bring the sides. How about that? And, we'll just have fellowship that day. We are having some food here on the 20th. And, we really need to have some fellowship. I'll put it that way. And John Mellis gets sentenced on the 20th, and he's been a big part of what we've done here on the Freedom Corner, and I'm sure DJ Jerome is going to be used against him, like they try to use all the words against our patriots in the courtroom. So we have a lot of really good things coming up. I hope y'all can join us.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse. There's a man going around taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame.
Thank you, True Blue. That'll be used for gas in a place that Sharon and me are staying. Thank you so much.
I thought they had a call coming in. Looks like they do now. All right, go back and listen.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Oh, I'm hanging in there. It's been a couple of days for sure, but hanging in there. Get ready for family visit coming this Friday, so I'm really excited about that. I think it's a little bit of a situation, just to update everybody on kind of what's going on with my plea. I think I told everybody they offered me like this. The plea was like 9 to 13 years. That they came back to me and said if I didn't accept that, they were going to add like 7 additional felonies and crazy enhancements. All of this. I met with my attorney today, and she's basically, I don't know, she's basically saying I need to fall off my sword, and this is what it's going to be. So kind of a little bit of mental struggle going on, but I have some time to kind of think about it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a new attorney and pursue that. But it really shows just how screwed everything is. And sitting in there with her today, I'm just, I was just telling her, I was like, if anybody can look at this, no matter really what side you're on, any logical person looks at this and says this is fair. I mean, number one, they're not on this side of the wall, and number two, their brain is rotted with biasness because this is a horrible system. I mean, even outside of January 6 cases, the system they have set up here for prosecuting people is ridiculous, and it's set up for people to fail.
Right.
YouTube.com. I'm gonna see, did she put it on X?
Get what I want on one aspect. Three more, plans in our pocket to stick with us more times. So,
Well, and then that's how they get these plea deals is because, when you're looking at 9 to 13 years already and they're saying, okay, well, if you don't take this deal, we're going to supersede your indictment. We're going to throw 7 more felonies on you. We're going to make sure that you do 20 years. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
What is a person supposed to do? And I don't understand how that's a deal.
That's what it's like, you're gonna lose. I was like, of course I'm gonna lose. I was like, I'm gonna still
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. Can you move around? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, she was like, you go to trial, you're gonna lose. I was like, of course I'm gonna lose. I'm in this hellhole of a city. I'm in this serpent's den. Of course I'm gonna lose. I was like, it's a stacked jury. I was like, with a stacked prosecution, of course I'm gonna get my head split. But she was like, well, 9 years is better than 20. I'm like, well, sure, when you're on that side of the wall, yeah, it is. But to me, 9 years might as well be 15, 20 years. So I was like, that's a mere decade of my life. And not to mention, I was out, living in a recovery lifestyle, sponsoring guys, community outreach in poor neighborhoods, bringing free workouts, free nutritional programs to people who couldn't afford, standard education, standard personal training. Organizing suicide fundraisers and walkathons. I wasn't getting in trouble. I wasn't a violent person. And 2.5 years later, the FBI is going to swarm me and take me in, and they're all of a sudden going to broadcast me across every mainstream news site that I'm this horrible, violent person. Just because of my political beliefs. Of course, I can't fight. I'm on the inside of the jail cell, with limited resources. But I can't really continue to let myself fall into this way of thinking. The fight's only begun, and what's happening now isn't how it's going to end. My faith is stronger than that. A soldier dies one death while a coward dies 1,000. And, I'm in this for the long haul. So yeah, time will tell.
I think there has to be, there's got to be at some point, people have to start really paying attention to how you guys are being grossly overcharged, and that has to matter at some point. It just has to.
Yeah, so, and that's what we need. We need people on the outside of here who aren't directly tied to the January 6th case, who are speaking out against the blatant biasness and the overly harsh sentences and the penalizing and persecution of January 6ers just for their beliefs.
Right.
That it's gonna take your average everyday citizen to stand up and use their voice. January 6ers did that. When we went to the when we went to the rally, we went there to peacefully protest and peacefully demonstrate. And now we need the public to stand up in our defense. You talk about reparations and all. I just want due process, and I want the system that this country, was founded on and believed in and formulated to truly treat the innocent until proven guilty. And that's not what's happening right now. And I don't want to lose my life in a jail cell.
Right.
I don't believe I'm going to, but even my poor mom, I love her to death. And she's like, hopefully you see that, you learn your lesson. I'm like, no, I was like, it's not about that. I was like, it's not about learning my lesson. I was like, I'll never sit here and say that. I was like,
Did you learn
I
your
have
lesson
police
not to
and
be
they don't
trapped
like.
by the FBI and the federal government again?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll try, Mom.
So, yeah, I'll do better next time. But yeah, so time will tell. Time will tell. I'm gonna get my mindset on the holiday season, enjoying the holiday season. Been sticking hardcore to my diet, getting in shape, getting jacked and juicy. When I do step out these walls, I'm gonna get food up and live my best life. But yeah, I encountered a little problem last night. I took 5 layers of my skin off trying to magic shape with the whole
No, my guy did that. It is horrible. That should be like a warning put somewhere about that magic shave. It's not okay, he said.
It was a stone cold setup. I had it on about 5 minutes. I'm like, this should be fine. And I swear I took 3 layers of skin off with it. Not my hair. My hair stayed, but then my skin was just taken off. I was like, well, this just went from bad to worse. So yeah. So let's have a moment of silence for all. Huh?
I think the same thing happened to Matt DeSilva the first time he tried that stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do a moment of silence for everybody who's falling victim to magic shave. But yeah, I appreciate you all being out there. I appreciate you guys listening. This is going to be an exciting year, For one, time seems to fly here, and I try to seize every moment I can. Even being on the inside, I try to read what I can. I try to stay motivated, stay positive, stay in the daily discipline. But this is going to be an exciting year. We're going to hopefully see Trump get back into office. So I think that's going to have us on our toes, at least until November. So I'll have some interesting activities happening up until then. And I know we're on the winning track whenever I see the mainstream news, especially CNN, MSNBC, starting to talk nonstop about Trump. I'm like, we're winning. We're living rent-free inside their heads.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to take out political ads. They do it for him.
Oh, yeah. All you have to do is just sit back and let them destroy themselves, which I absolutely love seeing. I think I saw something sad on the news. We were over there working out, and I pointed to Scooter and a few other guys sitting over there. They took down the Confederate memorial.
The Reconciliation Memorial.
Yeah, they took that down, and I heard that the man who created that, his grave was also removed as well, and it's sad.
And he's a famous American sculptor. He's done quite a few works. And, I think people really need to look up what the word fascism means.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to these people. Facts are not employed. All it comes down to is feelings. And if you go against their beliefs or you hurt their feelings, everybody must pay. It must be removed and free from anybody, no matter who believes it or who can identify with that part of history. Doesn't matter their beliefs. It's a very one-sided culture that's trying to take over. But I believe the good fight will prevail, and we'll see that happening here soon. Hopefully in November, whenever the election time comes around.
Well, I'm definitely going to keep praying for that, but I'm not going to wait till November to start, putting my words into actions. And I think everybody else should start thinking about it sooner rather than later as well.
Oh yeah. Elections should not determine your involvement or activity in your own community. That's where this all starts, is in your own community. And be active. You can't. Not everybody can be active on a national level or a national platform. but you can have a voice in your own community. It is your community, and this is still America, and we still do have freedom, no matter what people want to try to fearmonger you into believing, which is exactly what this is. It's fear driving us into only thinking one way. And it starts at the ground level. It starts with your community. Stand strong. Stand for something. Because this life is about suffering. Oh, my bad, CEO. This life is about suffering, and living off principles. And if we can't stand for what we believe, we'll fall for anything as the saying goes.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. But if anybody out there is able to help for the holiday season, my family's coming in. They're going to stay here a little bit, but any help will go a long way.
You have 1 minute remaining.
GiftSingo is giftsingo.com/Curtis Tate. I appreciate you all being here and staying with me. Keep me in your prayers. I'll keep you in mind. And I look forward to talking to y'all next time.
All right. Thank you so much, Victory. We love you.
Love y'all. Good night.
Good night. He's so positive, like such a positive person. And do what?
Even when he was like in a not good mental space.
Yeah. And that's, it's amazing that these guys can keep that positivity when going through such trauma and drama. I'll be very surprised if they don't have PTSD after this. But, then again, they are. Anyway, this is a warfare.
All the same.
money nowadays. Money is purely, simply the good faith and credit of we, the people, in our living capacity. In our personhood, in our debt capacity, money is a liability, right? Money is something we owe. And but in our living capacity, money, we literally are the money. We are the gold and silver. Instead of gold and silver being what we use for currency, it's notes, and notes are a debt. In fact, I only use the dictionary, the Black's Law Dictionary, and sometimes Bouvier's dictionary to understand these terms, because there's a difference between a living dictionary like Oxford's English or Merriam-Webster and a Black's Law Dictionary. They're two completely different languages. Did you know that?
I did, and I find it very fascinating that most people don't know that.
Yeah. In fact, Black's Law is such that if you use Black's Law to teach the law or anything like that, you're actually violating the terms of agreement, because Black's Law is essentially under contract with attorneys. You have to have a license to use Black's Law. And a license, as defined by Black's Law, is permission to do that which is normally not lawful. Literally, you open it up and it says license, something that you get permission to do, which is normally not lawful. So it's actually not lawful to use Black's Law Dictionary with living people. Does that make sense? You have to have a license to practice at law, and at, as defined by the dictionary, means near the law. So an attorney doesn't even practice the law, it practices near the law. Another term that a lot of people don't know is that which is legal is not lawful, and that which is lawful is not legal. So you have two separate worlds that are always going on, right? And it's just the way it is. It's not really any secret. When you pin down to an attorney who really understands anything, they can explain it to you in that regard. Like, oh, yeah, I have a license to practice law, and these are the books we use, and you have a license to write essays, and you use Merriam-Webster's, right? It's completely different things. Yeah. So in my particular case, one of the things that I started to do is exclusively try to understand the words, right? When you are given a document from the government, those documents are written by attorneys, right? And they're written in a legal way, which means they're not lawful, right? Living beings deal with lawful. Entities, corporations, corpses deal with legal, right? So they write legal documents. They write in a phrase called legalese. You guys have all heard it, okay? Right. So what happens is when a government gives you a piece of paper that says, hey, here's your charges. So there's two books that you can use, Black's Law, and then everybody who wants to do this needs a Burton's Legal Thesaurus. Judge Joe Brown, you know who he is, the black judge that's on TV? Yeah. So there's a friend of mine who met him, and they were talking about this very topic, and he said, hey, I have a book I want you to go get, and what it is, it's Burton's Legal Thesaurus, 6th edition, is a really good one. It's pretty expensive. If you look it up on Amazon, it's about $400. The price of these books makes it so that the normal lay person can't get a hold of them, right? So he reserved a copy of the Burton's Legal Thesaurus at the local library and sent his friend out to get it, and he wrote him a little note that said the Burton's Legal Thesaurus is the, quote, book of wisdom. And the reason it's the book of wisdom is because it unlocks a lot of the synonyms that tie these words together so we can understand it. And for example, when you get charged with a crime, in a normal world, when you get charged with something or you charge your credit card, what are you doing? You're paying for it, right? So the charge is the money. So the charge in the United States system, you can be charged by complaint, you can be charged by information, and you can be charged by indictment. Those are all essentially the same thing. On an indictment, it actually says at the bottom, a true bill. So an indictment is a what? It's a bill to be paid. Now, out in the world, we'll say things like, oh, you have to pay your debt to society. Okay, well, that's what an indictment is. It's your debt to society. And since there's no money, you have to pay the debt with your body, right? With your commercial energy, with your energy. In the Burton's Legal Thesaurus, when you look up indictment, complaint, information, it will also tell you that a synonym is an invoice. So an indictment is an invoice paid. And when you go to your arraignment, which is typically the only time that they read out the charges in their complete form, it will say things like, you are charged, and it's in a format of a security or a mortgage. For example, it will say up to 10 years imprisonment. Imprisonment is a synonym for impoundment, right? Everybody knows that you impound the collateral. If you default on the loan, right, there's collateral involved. Well, we are the collateral. So imprisonment is just a synonym for impounding. And then it says a fine. It's important. It says like 10 years imprisonment, semicolon, a fine of $100,000, comma, penalties and interest and court costs, et cetera, et cetera. Notice how it doesn't say and a fine of. It says semicolon, a fine of. That is written as in format of a security, right? When you go get a CD, it's a 7-year CD at a certain interest rate. Does that make sense? So it's a security. And then another thing that a lot of people don't realize is the word case. It's a synonym for an account. So every case is an account. A case creates an account. And also, you can notice the judges get an assignment. Okay, if you look up the word assignment, it says the title passes to whoever the assignee is. So when judges are assigned an account, they become the managers of that security. Do you understand how this is working out here?
Yeah.
And so then the assignment, so the assignment in the dictionary transfers title. That's why in the federal system there's no cash bail. Have you ever wondered why that is? You know, in a lot of state systems there's bail. They set bail, right? You have to pay the God bail to get out of prison. The judge is in a black robe and he's collecting bail for the God bail. It's a whole thing going on there. But nonetheless, in the federal system there's no cash bail because when they took away gold and silver as lawful money, the federal system knows there's no gold and silver to be posted. You are literally the money. You're the collateral. And so instead of gold and silver being the collateral, your physical body now became the collateral in the federal system. And remember, the Constitution only regulates commerce. So prior to like the 1960s, you could post bail and you could pay your federal charges because all federal charges were civil charges. They were all commercial charges. But once they took away gold and silver and converted us, we the people, to back the money, now we literally are the collateral. We became the gold and silver. It used to not be that way, okay? And so then you can verify all of this. There are probably listeners to this show that are people that trade bonds or have access to the bond market. And there's something called a CUSIP number. CUSIP. It's an acronym for Committee on Uniform Security Identification Procedures. Okay. Anybody can go look this up. I believe anybody with a Series 7 insurance license. I used to actually, I passed the state insurance exam and became familiar with some of this stuff. This is kind of where I got some of my understanding of it. If you can go look up, take any one of the January 6th defendants and really any criminal defendant in the United States at any level, you can look up their name and their account number, which is their case number, and it will pop up. So all of a sudden you're trading bonds and you start finding court cases in there. So in my specific example, I had 2 CUSIP numbers. One CUSIP number was when I was arraigned in the Western District of Washington, and that CUSIP number was being traded by Goldman Sachs Municipal Bond Fund. Goldman Sachs was trading a bond with my name and my case number on it that had been signed by the judge on my behalf. Okay. Then when my case got transferred, right, so my case was transferred, it's a transaction, it was transferred to the DC court. A new security was created, and that security is currently being traded by American Century Municipal Fund. This is all verifiable. I pulled these CUSIP numbers and actually brought them into court and asked the judge about them. Now, I knew the judge couldn't answer the question because attorneys and judges who didn't know about this, they're barred through their contract with the Bar Association not to discuss these things in open court. Because the person who is the security, right, whoever is listed as the surety is technically the term. The surety, if the contract is modified, even one sentence, one period, one comma, right? If the contract is modified, it creates automatic discharge for the surety. It would create a misfile in pretty much every single case that exists. And one of the things you'll notice constantly with your attorneys as you're going through these cases is they're constantly agreeing to things. They're constantly agreeing to extend the matter. They're constantly agreeing to do different things. By submitting motions, you're agreeing to continue the matter and modify the contract by consent. Okay? Even if you're arguing, you're still consenting to the modification of the terms of the agreement, which extends the bond. And every single time a motion is submitted, an order is submitted, all of those things, if you notice on people's dockets, it's listed as a transaction, right? This is a commercial banking term. There's a new transaction created. So we had somebody do a forensic audit on the CUSIP number, and there were hundreds of quote transactions. Every time there was a motion submitted, the judge signed an order, the bond grew in size our cases are not being paid for by the legislature. It's literally being paid for out of our estates. That's where the phrase, hey, we have someone, we're going to milk them dry, right? We're going to milk them for all their worth. That's why it's so incentivizing for a lot of court systems to spend so much money on kind of a run-of-the-mill murder charge or something like that. Sometimes you look at these murder charges that are just cut and dry. It's like, why are they spending so much money prosecuting this? Just throw the evidence up there. Well, they can because there's literally money involved, right? The judicial system, it's like a judicial industrial complex, right? It's not just the prisons that have a prison industrial complex, but the actual court cases themselves have that. Another thing, and this is a little bit of just suspicion, but I believe there's something called net retentions that get paid. So all the judges have a salary that is prescribed by the legislature, but it's my belief, and I have it kind of on good word, that there are also essentially bonuses based on how many cases they can, quote, dispose of. Again, if you go look at Burton's dictionary and look up that word dispose, you'll realize that, again, it's another banking term. So I just find all this kind of fascinating, and I wish more people understood how it is that our estates are being managed by the judges. And this is one of the reasons why it's critically important that everybody has a lawyer who's an attorney. And one of the definitions of an attorney is to turn an estate over. Right, so they are turning over your estate, which includes your rights. It includes the commercial entity that you represent. You know, because we are the backing of money. All money is based on our good faith and credit, and so that's what attorneys do. They turn the estate over to the state. Right? It's just fascinating. So I think some people who are listening to this today, especially people that are familiar with insurance and securities, the heads might be blowing up. If you're not familiar with it, this might all just sound like gobbledygook. But if you're familiar with securities, go look up a CUSIP number. Pull any random January 6th defendant's name and their case number and look it up. You're going to be blown away. They get traded as municipal bond funds. There's probably people in here that have 401ks that are actually profiting because they're invested in municipal bonds. They're actually profiting from January 6 cases. If you have a Goldman Sachs municipal bond fund, you're welcome. Part of your dividend came from me, right? It really does work that way. It's absolutely staggering, and it's fascinating.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So thank you guys for listening. I wanted to pump out or mention something. My wife has started a website called peasantsperspective.com where she's been blogging about kind of our experience. And so anybody who wants to take a look at that, we would greatly appreciate it. As well as she has a Give, Send, Go, which is Give, Send, Go, John Atakis Family Help. That's JOHNATAKIS. John Atakis Family Help. You guys are so great. Thank you for letting me ramble on night after night. I love to be able to get these little tidbits out, and I know that some people appreciate it, and gosh, I really appreciate you guys giving us the forum and standing for justice and standing for us. It means so much. So thank you.
We love you, Patriot.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. You're the best.
The stuff he talks about is fascinating, and sometimes it goes a little bit over my head because
I only understood about 2% of what he was saying.
Yeah. So some of it does go a little bit over my head because I'm not the smartest person in the room. I will definitely tell you that. But I do find it very fascinating, and I've known for a long time that we are the bond, that we are the money.
Yes.
So I wish more people would start looking into it because I think they'd be outraged. Maybe then something would happen. I don't know.
All right, maybe I can say hi to everybody. That I think.
All right, real quick, guys. There was a person picked up today from Tennessee in Dandridge. The man has become the latest person from Tennessee to be charged for his direct involvement in U.S. Capitol 451 of Dandridge on December 12th. Has been his initial appearance in the Eastern District of Tennessee. He's been charged of felony obstruction of virtual proceeding, misdemeanor offenses of entering and remaining in restricted building grounds, disorderly restricted conduct in a restricted building or ground, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building or grounds, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing meeting in a Capitol building. And this person is actually friends of one of our viewers. I'm not the name of the person, but we need to try to get some help over there so that we have a good defense. And sure that, all these people get some good defense. Also, real quick, we have got some updated news. The judge halts the dismantling of Confederate Memorial at Arlington just as the removal works begin. Federal judge Monday issued a temporary restraining order to halt the removal of the Confederate Memorial at Arlington National Cemetery. The same day workers started the process to dismantle the monument. Reached by phone Monday afternoon, a spokesperson for the cemetery declined to comment on the restraining order, instead telling military.com that any comment related to removal from the monument will be posted on the cemetery's website. No updates have been posted on the website of publishing time. Judge Rossi Alstead, a Trump appointee in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Virginia, issued a temporary restraining order blocking any act to deconstruct, tear down, remove, or alter the object of this case. Austin also scheduled a hearing for Wednesday morning on whether to extend the restraining order, which is set to expire. And it looks like we've got Wednesday evening, looks like we've got another call.
Hey, Freedom Corner, what's going on? James Grant. Hi, James. How's everyone doing out there tonight?
Better than last night. It's not raining.
I'm good. I'm tired today. Not feeling the best, but you guys can get up, I can get up. So, but yeah, thank you guys for being up there. And what's the word? What's the word on the streets? We're only a couple weeks, really. I've been telling everyone in the pod that once, I think it's January 15th, but once the Iowa caucus starts, it's like we're in election mode, and we are now at the biggest. Yeah, I mean it's starting. So I'm telling everyone in here, just enjoy the last couple of weeks of a lull. Watch some college football, and just chill because in a couple weeks it's ramping up, and then it's the biggest election that maybe ever, with like the highest stakes than I've ever seen. I think any other group of people have ever had to rely on. But yeah, it's starting.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that's happening around J6 right now. With the SCOTUS picking up the 1512 case, and just everything the videos that are coming out, the whistleblowers that are coming out. There's just so much happening, and I think you're absolutely right. We need to buckle our seats because it's going to be a ride for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Supreme Court ruling is so big, and if that goes away, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not going to say we need it, but boy, that would if things are going to work out perfectly. I mean, we got to have this win. We got to, we got to win everywhere we can win. And with 6 Supreme Court, I think there's six like so-called conservative Supreme Court justices, but I don't know if you can count John Roberts. But I mean, even still, you'd like to be able to think that you get 5 out of the 9. And yeah, this would just be a huge blow to get rid of the 1512, which I think only an elite group of 300-something Americans have been charged with, including President Trump, who wasn't even there either. And but yeah, only a select group of Americans have been charged with it. But for those like myself that do have enough in charge, oh my God, that would just be huge. And yeah, some people are doing, a couple of years on just that 1512 charge and a couple of misdemeanors. So I mean, it would be landmark. And yeah, the blow it would do to January 6th and that narrative would be incalculable. And we were late to the narrative because we don't have the media context, the contacts that the other side had, and it took us a while to put everything together. But we finally have a little bit of a working machine here. But for so long, the left ran away with this narrative that all these cops died on January 6th, and they're trying then 6 months later to January 6th, just doing all kinds of questionable stuff. But the point remains, the only people that died on January 6th were 4 protesters. Those are the 4 people people that died on January 6th. You know, I think something else to get into, but, you know, he's included as a currency, but, you know, I believe he died of natural causes. And, you know, I don't think he would appreciate his name, you know, being used as a tool of the left to try to condemn this day for a president that he supported. And I'm sure, you know, still supports, you know, because we're loyal people too, you know. And it's another thing you don't see. You don't really see many people saying I supported Trump and I don't anymore. You know, once you do, because why would I change from wanting the best for my country and believing in the American dream again? So, you know, once you get on the Trump bandwagon, you really don't leave. But I don't think I got to tell you guys that. But yeah, the first step again. Yeah, we love Trump here, and it's just a shame. It's a shame what they're doing to our president. And you know, I heard Julie Kelly. She's such a good voice. Yeah. You said what?
He is our rightful president.
Oh yeah. No, I mean maybe it had to happen this way, but you know, he not only the fact that I'm gonna shut up for a second, but again, the 15th law would be huge, and you know, I get my verdict back in 2 weeks. I won't go too much into it, but yeah, I think it would be great, and I'm gonna hold my tongue, but yeah, the 1512, you know, that's a huge ruling, and you know, President Trump's running again, and this is the biggest election in, you know, I think a lot of us can agree, this is the biggest election in our country's history, and you know, we thought 2016 might have been, but given everything that's happened since, yeah. Go ahead, Tammy. Say something.
I was just going to say, yes, you're absolutely correct. It's going to be the biggest election that we've ever had. It's going to be the choice between democracy and, you know, this totalitarian regime that we've got here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's just crazy that, like, with Rudy Giuliani, they ruled he has to pay $170-something million, but how did they establish that they're even right? I mean, you never even looked into the election to begin with. So how does that establish who's right? If you don't even look to see if the accusations are true or not.
Well,
so I think that's a premature ruling right there.
The real problem is that what he accused them of doing, they did, and it's on video. So there's actual factual evidence that they did exactly what he said they did. But, you know, he didn't file paperwork in the courts on time, so they did huge punitive damages. It's absolutely despicable, and it should not. I don't think it's legal. I don't think it's going to stand.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they would appeal that. It sounds like you looked into the case a lot more than I have, but yeah, I mean, $172 million. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Just a ridiculous number, and it's for an accusation that it appears you're doing. I mean, what evidence could be? It sounds like there was no evidence, you know, to the contrary that acquitted them. So, I mean, if anything, it's just unsubstantiated. But you know, the whole thing's crazy. This crazy situation.
Well, and it's just another example of the federal government going after political opponents and, you know, doing everything they can to crush them and bury them. They did it with Mike Flynn. They did it with Sidney Powell. They did it with Rudy Giuliani. They're doing it with Trump. They're doing it with all of us. You know, and they're saying
right. And I can definitely, yeah. Right. No, I can definitely confirm that too. You know, I went to NC State University. I graduated with a degree in political science, and yeah, oh my gosh, and that's probably one of the more non-liberal schools in NC State. You know, it's not as bad as like UNC, but you know, all college universities are pretty leftist. But yeah, oh my God, you know, just the political science atmosphere. I couldn't imagine what it was. We had a couple Republicans with us at NC State, and you know, a couple of them were outspoken and whatnot. A lot of them, you know, a lot of the girls preferred to remain kind of undercover with it. And I remember once it was during Russiagate, and I spoke up saying, you know, I think this Russiagate thing sounds ridiculous, and he's going to be proven right that he didn't do anything. So, of course, I was vindicated, but no one knew that at the time, like 2017. And yeah, I you know, I stood up for myself in class. I stood up for Trump. Said I think he's a great president. And oh my God, people were shocked. And then afterwards on Facebook, I don't even know how she got my number. This girl looked me up and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that was so brave that you stood up for what you believed in. Here's a Bible verse that I like when I'm feeling, you know, down." And yeah, I mean, just yeah, it was such a cool experience. But that's the kind of, you know, stifling atmosphere you get in a college campus these days. So, and the point I make with that is that, it's getting so bad in college campuses that anyone who, graduates from the DC area, from George Washington or Georgetown or one of these, universities out here that are in Virginia, the DC area that works for the courts, they're all extremely liberal, and it's just, how it goes. And at a time like this when politics are getting so divisive and, you just have so many, political prosecutions that are questioned, the whole thing is, it's really getting into some dangerous territory. And I applaud judges that, want to take a stand and do what they believe is right, because, you can't let people use the law as a weapon. And it's just so dangerous. And we really got to be vigilant for that. And I think you're right. It's getting really bad lately. It's getting to the point where anyone can see it. I mean, you're going after President Trump for, you don't even know what. And on top of everything, when you didn't go after Hillary Clinton, who admitted these felonies and admitted to having her own server in her basement operating. I mean, Trump didn't do anything like that. And if he had, oh my goodness, could you imagine the SWAT team to recover the evidence? They would have found out every single thing he said. They would have taken those. They would have had, CIA. They would have gone through every bit of the computer evidence and every last terabyte, every last piece of data they could have get. But instead, they just sweep it under the rug with Hillary Clinton. And when you do that to one political candidate, but you don't do, you're going after Trump on everything, on all these fake made up charges, and it's just crazy. I mean, for handling, he's the president of the United States. He has this, he has data in the wrong spot. What are they saying? He has these documents there. He's the president. He wipes his hand over them, and he says they're declassified. They're fine now. I mean, so they're just going after the president on such ticky-tack stuff, but they're just taking it so far. And I think each indictment has lost credibility, in my opinion. It's like it's getting more transparent. I think the Americans see that, and I really hope they do see that. But if you look at the polls, it looks like they are really starting to wake up to this. So I think he was winning like 50-40 in Michigan, like something crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild election, but. Yeah, I just want to real quick. My name is James Grant. I sound like Brenda Fellows. We're actually quite good friends, but we both have a nasally sounding nerdy guys in here. But I hadn't really gotten a chance to do any fundraising before this, so if you could donate anything, givesendgo.com/freejames. And I had an incident with my last Give Send Go. I didn't see most of it. This one is fully secure, fully confident. Anything you guys could give, givesendgo.com/freejames. It would change my life. They would just get a couple thousand help. Put my life back together when I get out. So thank you guys.
We will see what we can do to help you, James.
All right.
And just get ready. Just enjoy these last few weeks, because it's going to ramp up. I think January 15th is the date, and that's when the election starts. That's when the Republicans are choosing who they want to be the nominee for president of the United States. So that's coming up. So just enjoy. Watch some football and relax these next couple weeks. It's about to ramp up. So. Amen, man. I think that's. I'm excited. I'm excited to go. We'll be going over the polls every time we talk. Michigan. So, anyways, that's my time. Thank you, guys. I look forward to that. I'll talk to you soon, Tammy. Right. Thanks, Freedom Corner.
James. We love you, Patriot. Bye.
Well, for those of you who haven't heard yet, we need to celebrate our wins. Brandon Struck has won his civil case against the police department on January 6th. It had been proven that every single police officer that tried to say that he assaulted them was never even in the area that he was in that day. He won his court case. Congratulations, Brandon.
That's right.
But this should tell you the hypocrisies that are going on with these cases and these J6 defendants. Sometimes it's not just their J6 case. So many of them are having civil cases brought against them, And it has absolutely been proven that every one of those officers should be held in contempt because they were nowhere around Brandon on January 6th. It was proven in court. He proved his case. He won. Congratulations, Brandon Struck.
All right.
Maybe we'll get through one.
Hi, USA Gale.
It's hard for me to keep.
Thank everybody for showing up tonight.
In
We're here every
measured
night, 7:30 to 9:30, usually in that area.
Man comes around.
Rain or snow or whatever. It rained last night, folks.
Can you guys hear me better now? Does it still sound like I'm swimming? Much better? Good. What I was saying was that the judge halts dismantling of Confederate Memorial at Arlington just as the removal work begins. Federal judge on Monday issued a temporary restraining order to halt the removal of the Confederate Memorial at Arlington National Cemetery the same day workers started the process to dismantle. Oh, keep back up again. I'll finish in a minute.
The rest of the world doesn't. So tell us who you are.
This is Chris Flagland. I've been told that I've been promoted to major. So yeah, just doing our thing. Nice and quiet day at the DC Gulag. And another day of not talking to any lawyers and not getting my knee checked out, and what else? Not getting anything, printed out that people need. People are pro se here, and they can't get anything printed out. It takes about 3 or 4 weeks to get something printed out, if they can get it at all. People are being told that they're on the felon list, even though they only have misdemeanors. It's another day in DC where your rights don't matter if you are conservative.
Right.
So.
Well, on the plus side, Brandon Straka is another J6 defendant, and he just recently, today I believe,
I heard about this. Yes.
Yeah, he won a civil case. So Sherry was just talking about it, and that's amazing. Like that's really cool that even happened. So we got to celebrate our small victories too.
That's super cool. Congratulations, Brandon. And I still don't really understand how you how you weren't found guilty, especially with the guy who was actually in Maryland when and he still sued you for pepper spraying him, because of course these right wingers, they have super duper pepper spray with scopes on them that they can shoot 3 or 4 miles. So I mean, it's possible, especially with the wind carrying the right way. I'm surprised that you lost that, or that that you won that one. But good for you. So I mean, I heard a little bit of something. Lydia Sorrow sent me a little passage from Brandon, and I've been reading it to a couple of the guys, or a couple groups of the guys. So I'm, everyone's happy, and then of course the Catholic Church. Good job, Catholic Church. You disgust me, but being raised Roman Catholic, it's like, listen, and now that's the whole thing, which people don't understand. By all means, be gay if you want to be gay. I have no problem with that. I have gay friends. You know, Eric Christie, you know, was gay over here. The other Eric was gay, and you know, even though he didn't admit it, everyone knew. But you know, I have no problem if you're gay. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle, right? You know, it's the right to be whoever you want to be. But at the same time, the religion just shouldn't bow down just because, you know, just because they've become woke and left, and you know, this is why the one, I think he was a bishop over in Texas, left the Catholic Church, or he was fired, I should say. You know, and I'm not a quote unquote overly religious guy. You know, but I was born and raised Roman Catholic. I was, you know, at my confirmation, you know, the communion confirmation, my son was, you know, was baptized, had his, you know, and it's just, I don't, an organization, that's a private organization. You know what I mean? They have the right to say no. Just like you have the right to be gay, they have the right to say, sure. But we don't have to bend over, you know, no pun intended. But we don't have to bend over to you guys, you know. Right. But that's just my 2 cents. You know, love me or hate me, you know. But yeah, it's I would like to, you know, again, just point out, I tore my ACL 3 months ago, 90 days. Still no MRI, still no anything. On another note, Taki won was found not guilty of assault. So good job to Taki, and they'll be back here, and I guess in a day or two. That's the word on the street, at least. So that's good. And to Eric Boschini, who says that along, you know, that all these people were actors and Dak Alam was a paid actor. I guess that means he was working with the feds or whatever. So just, I mean, look him up, see if he's still in his jail. Because I don't know if he's down in the hole or at the other side of the jail, or, you know, if he's really a Fed, then, you know, he can't be let back here. So there's a need for him. So one would think that they would just let him loose. But you know, he's going to use this against, you know, everyone in here, and he's going to use it for his positivity, because now he can come out as Antifa and kind of like Copeland. He could go and get, you know, a 2-year bid on this whole thing, and he'll get 1/10 of the time of other people that are, you know, just right wing or conservative or anything like that. So, you know, at least, and that'll help him out. So actually, who knows? Maybe he planned this whole thing. You know, maybe he planned the whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised. I know Copeland, you know, checked out of there, and then he was given 3 years. So, and he was, if there was anyone who would be called an agitator, that was him. You know, just goes to show you, what do we got? We got 13 months and a day. Something like that. 13 months and a day, hopefully, and we get to start. We can all sigh of relief in about 11 months. Hopefully, the powers that be screw up, and it's too big that they can't steal it again. So everyone keeps on saying, how are they not going to? How can they possibly allow him to get in? Because now a lot of the stuff about 2016 is coming out. How they were doing the same stuff in 2016, but they just didn't do enough of it. You know, because it was such an overwhelming majority. Yeah, for Trump, and they just weren't expecting. But yeah, what else? Hockey, that guy, the church, sorry, hold on 1 second. I broke out my earphones. But yeah, and my knee. So if anyone wants to give the marshals a call, it would be greatly appreciated. About my, I am now three doctors, 2 outside medical, and it's not just the marshals. See, the jail is pointing the finger at medical because it's an outside, an outside deal. So the jail is pointing the fingers at the outside medical or at medical. Medical's pointing the finger at the marshals. The judge knows about this. Over a month ago, he knew about this and said, "Hey, it's on the record. It's on the record that I physically was. I mean, besides there being twice my size, I was physically unable to fight because I couldn't even put pressure on my leg at that point. So I got injured above and beyond when I was attacked because of my knee and because it wasn't looked at. And I still haven't received any, no physical therapy, no MRI, no knee brace. I'm wearing the same knee brace that they gave me from the emergency room. I was supposed to get a separate knee brace. I was supposed to get PT, physical therapy. I was supposed to see now an orthopedic doctor 3 separate times. 2 times the guy called in sick. That's what he says. Actually, 3 times he called in sick. That's the story I was given. So it's beyond ridiculous. And all these people who called in the last time, thank you. It didn't do anything. So I guess call in again, ask them what the hell is the deal. It's on the record. The judge knows about it.
Right.
My lawyer has reached out to the marshals. I know for a fact that my lawyer reached out to the marshals. So, that's where we're at. And we're waiting on these ghost buses. Any reporters out there that want to talk about these ghost buses, they should talk to Mark Malley. He knows something, 1 or 2 things about them. But I think he's in a high security a high security facility for one reason or another. So if you can reach him on on email or whatever, reach out to him about these ghost buses. Because I had long conversations with him about those. He was front and center with those things. So, or they were 2 other completely different white buses that he was talking about. Maybe they were. I can't speak to them, so someone else is going to have to speak for them. So the powers that be out there, all you internet sleuths, reach out to Mark Malley and ask him to tell the story about the ghost buses. Or these white buses and everything else.
I'm pretty sure he talked about it at Northern Neck one time.
Yeah, I mean, he described exactly what I've read about them just recently. Right. I forget who just put it out there, but that there were, a bunch of all military, aged men, all fit, all this, all that. And that's all I'll say is talk to Mark about it. Because now all these things are coming out. And like I said, I would assume email is the best way to reach him.
Yeah. I have contact.
Or snail mail. Or snail mail. But,
yeah.
But anyway, 1 week until Christmas. Hopefully all y'all are thank you so much for everyone who sent out, Christmas gifts for our kids. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone who sent out, letters and everything else. It's greatly appreciated. We didn't get mail today for some reason, which is weird, but
You have 1 minute remaining.
but thank you so much for keeping us in your prayers and praying for us. And thank you so much for taking the time and writing. Everyone really enjoys it. But we're doing okay here. We're going to be doing a big cookout, in a week, and for Christmas, and that's it. So thank you very, very much, everyone. God bless you guys, and just remember that we wouldn't be here in this position if it wasn't for you. So thank you.
God bless you, Patriot. We love you.
God bless you guys.
Well, tonight went fast.
All right. Maybe. Hold on. What time is it? Shit. Oh, maybe we have time to really fastly read. Yes. I'm going to do it real fast this time. So get your clappers ready. All right.
I gotta get my hero going. Let me. La 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 la. La 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 la. Get it ready.
All right. For those lives lost on January 6th, Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boyland, Kevin Greason, Benjamin Phillips, and on the next day, Officer Brian Sicknick, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
For those detained, Justin Adams, Michael Adams,
Hero.
Thomas Adams,
Hero.
Tommy Allen,
Hero.
Chris Albert,
Hero.
Russell Alford,
Hero.
Noah Bacon,
Hero.
Edward Medallion,
Hero.
Daniel Ball,
Hero.
Thomas Ballard,
Hero.
Logan Barnhart,
Hero.
Richard Barnett,
Hero.
Colleen Bauer,
Hero.
Julio Bequero,
Hero.
Matthew Bedingfield,
Hero.
Luke Bender,
Hero.
Joe Biggs,
Hero.
Aiden Billiard,
Hero.
Craig Bingert,
Hero.
Joshua Black,
Hero.
Matthew Bledsoe,
Hero.
Kenneth Bonowitz,
Hero.
Dominic Box,
Hero.
Brandon Bradshaw,
Hero.
Larry Brock,
Hero.
Gabriel Brown,
Hero.
Jeffrey Brown,
Hero.
Jeremy Brown,
Hero.
Mark Brew,
Hero.
Daniel Caldwell,
Hero.
William Calhoun,
Hero.
Jared Cantrell,
Hero.
Kel Clayton,
Hero.
Stephen Capuccio,
Hero.
Matthew Caskell,
Hero.
Donald Chilcote,
Hero.
Shondale Chilcote,
Hero.
William Cressman,
Hero.
Reed Christensen,
Hero.
Josiah Colt,
Hero.
Mason Corson,
Hero.
Bruno Kua,
Hero.
Matthew De Silva,
Hero.
Nicholas DiCarlo,
Hero.
Nathan DeGrave,
Hero.
David Dempsey,
Hero.
Lucas Denny,
Hero.
Robert Dennis,
Hero.
Timothy DeJargens,
Hero.
Michael Dickinson,
Hero.
Charles Donahoe,
Hero.
Joshua Doolin,
Hero.
Michael Eckerman,
Hero.
Jolene Eicher,
Hero.
James Elliott,
Hero.
Daniel Eckbett,
Hero.
Isaiah Farnsworth,
Hero.
Brandon Fellows,
Hero.
Kyle Fitzsimons,
Hero.
Kevin Galato,
Hero.
Mitchell Gardner,
Hero.
Robert Gieswein,
Hero.
Vincent Gillespie,
Hero.
Frank Castino,
Hero.
Vitaly Goshchinkowski,
Hero.
Jeffrey Grace,
Hero.
James Brandt,
Hero.
Matthew Green,
Hero.
Christopher Greider,
Hero.
Tony Griffith,
Hero.
Brian Gunderson,
Hero.
Joseph Hackett,
Hero.
Stacy Hager,
Hero.
Timothy Hale,
Hero.
Kenneth Harrelson,
Hero.
Johnny Harris,
Hero.
Richard Harris,
Hero.
Joshua Haynes,
Hero.
Stephanie Hazelton,
Hero.
Donald Hazard,
Hero.
Albuquerque Head,
Hero.
Andrew Hernandez,
Hero.
Joshua Hernandez,
Hero.
Eric Herrera,
Hero.
Joshua Hughes,
Hero.
Jared Hughes,
Hero.
Brian Jackson,
Demar's
Shane
hero.
Jenkins, Douglas Jensen,
Hero.
Justin Jersey,
Hero.
Joshua Johnson,
Hero.
Taylor Jonatakis,
Hero.
David Judd,
Hero.
Leo Kelly,
Hero.
Brian Kelly,
Hero.
Julian Qatar,
Hero.
Federico Klein,
Hero.
Matthew Kroll,
Hero.
Nicholas Lindgren,
Hero.
Daniel Leeden,
Hero.
Joseph Whedon,
Hero.
Luke Lentz,
Hero.
Josh Lawler,
Hero.
Kevin Lyons,
Hero.
Deneen McAndrew,
Hero.
Marcus Nelly,
Hero.
Christian Manley,
Hero.
Cody Matisse,
Hero.
James Malt,
Hero.
Christopher Maurer,
Hero.
Mark Mazza,
Hero.
Ronald McAbee,
Hero.
Patrick McCoffey,
Hero.
James McGrew,
Hero.
David McCoffey,
Hero.
Sean McHugh,
Hero.
Jeffrey McCullough,
Hero.
James McNamara,
Hero.
Connie Meggs,
Hero.
Kelly Meggs,
Hero.
Jonathan Mellis,
Hero.
Rodney Millstreet,
Hero.
Matthew Miller,
Hero.
Jordan Mink,
Hero.
Robert Menuda,
Hero.
Landon Mitchell,
Hero.
Fran Montani,
Hero.
Catherine Morrison,
Hero.
David Marshall,
Hero.
Robert Morse,
Hero.
Christopher Moynihan,
Hero.
Jonathan Munifo,
Hero.
John Nassif,
Hero.
Marshall Neve,
Hero.
Daryl Neely,
Hero.
Brian Nichols,
Hero.
Kirsten Niemela,
Hero.
Gregory Nix,
Hero.
Ethan Mordine,
Hero.
Nicholas Ox,
Hero.
Brady Owens,
Hero.
Derek Owens,
Hero.
Jason Owens,
Hero.
Joseph Padilla,
Here.
Robert Palmer,
Here.
Nathan Keller, Michael Perkins, Dominic Mazzola,
Here.
Daniel Phipps,
Here.
Mark Ponder,
Here.
Sean Price,
Here.
Joshua Pruitt,
Here.
Anthony Puma,
Here.
Chris Quaglin,
Here.
Barry Ramey,
Here.
Guy Reffitt,
Here.
Zach Reel,
Here.
Mariana Reiner, Stuart Rhodes,
Here.
Howard Richardson,
Here.
George Riley,
Here.
Thomas Robertson,
Here.
Linwood Robinson,
Here.
Michael Roche,
Here.
Jonathan Rockholt,
Here.
Daniel Rodriguez,
Here.
Raphael Rondon,
Here.
who is, by the way, he just left this morning, so he's off to his prison. Greg Rubenacker,
Here.
Jeffrey Sable,
Here.
Ronald Sandlin,
Here.
Salvador Sandoval,
Here.
Robert Sanford,
Here.
Peter Schwartz,
Here.
Daniel Scott,
Here.
Christian Secor,
Here.
Hunter Seafried,
Here.
Kevin Seafried,
Here.
Grayson Sherrill,
Here.
Jonathan Schroeder,
Here.
Alexander Shepard,
Here.
Thomas Civic,
Here.
Jeffrey Sills,
Here.
Mikhail Sly,
Here.
Charles Smith,
Here.
Tommy Smith,
Here.
Kelly Sorrell,
Here.
Audrey Southard,
Here.
Hatchet Speed,
Here.
Yvonne St. Cyr,
Here.
Peter Stager,
Here.
Shelley Stallings,
Here.
Patrick Stedman,
Here.
Laura Steele,
Here.
Tristan Stevens,
Here.
John Strand,
Here.
Andrew Taki,
Here.
Enrique Tario,
Here.
Curtis Tate,
Here.
George Tenney,
Here.
Jacob Thayers,
Here.
Devlin Thompson,
Here.
Dustin Thompson,
Here.
Edward Vallejo,
Here.
Salvador Vassallo,
Here.
Jason Wallace,
Here.
Jessica Watkins,
Here.
William Watson,
Here.
Matthew Webler,
Here.
Thomas Webster,
Here.
Bradley Weeks,
Here.
Sandra Weir,
Here.
Jack Whitten,
Here.
Anthony Williams,
Here.
Riley Williams,
Here.
Timothy Williams,
Here.
Duke Wilson,
Here.
Ricky Weldon,
Here.
Shane Woods,
Here.
Chris Worrell, John Wright, Gregory Edmond, Isaac Yoder, Kyle Young,
Hero. 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 Hero.
Christopher Georgia, Matthew Ferner, Mark Ungst, and George Meacham. Rest in peace. Having a good time. Let's say her name.
Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt.
And that was the perfect timing.
Hey, why was it perfect timing?
Because I just finished reading the roll call.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Ah, yeah, we did it two times. We got me and Scooter here, and we've got the 3-minute warning. So hold on.
3 minutes. Pass it back. Pass it back.
That's just fun to do. It just is.
It is.
And we like to pass it back.
All right. We got, as I said, we got Scooter here. We got me here. I have something I may have mentioned this one the other day, but I found this was interesting. Is that Space Force has said that they are now, as of today, 100% mission ready, mission capable. That's a very, very interesting thing for it to now all of a sudden be today. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You guys got anything new in like that you can give me in 1 minute? Maybe a teaser. If not, I can tease you.
Okay, well, I do have something. There's been an audit in Maricopa County, and it has revealed 733,000 ballots unaccounted for the 2020 election. 733,000.
Okay, and for the record, what state is that?
That is Arizona.
I'm just making sure our listeners know and that I have my info correct.
Yes.
Fascinating. Okay, 733,000
Unaccounted
votes.
for votes.
What is it?
Yes,
Accounted for. Say again?
Unaccounted for.
Gotcha. Oh, we are accounting for one minute left. So hold on. Scooter's got you. 1 minute. 1 minute. Red eye. Are you red eye?
I'm red eye. Are you red eye?
All right. I is red eye. I'll be red eye bump. Where you know what time it is? Ball holds the tablet. He's a tablet holder. All right.
Still there.
Free J6! Free J6! Free J6!
Free J6.
Hold on.
Holding.
All right, Maricopa County, Arizona, 733,000 votes unaccounted for. And interesting how that just came out. Is that today it came out?
Yes.
Okay, because you know what's coming up tomorrow that I have had a number of different people verify and have also seen a number of different things that are trying to say that it's not happening. I'm very curious if this thing that's going on in Georgia is real or not. So let me do this. Let me give the quick website for it. So grab your pen. This is a very important, very important. I'll say the website in a bit, but I've had a number of people that I contact check it out, and everything that they have been able to find says that this is real and that it will be happening tomorrow and on Wednesday. But I think there have been some articles that have said, no, this is conspiracy theory. None of this is real. You don't need to look here. In other words, as Obi-Wan Kenobi said, these aren't the droids you're looking for. So let me get on with the website. So check this out. And this is a government website. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. https://sos.gov/event. That's EVENT /state election board meeting -1. That's the number 1. That site tells you all the information that you need for the hearing that is tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 19th. You can use the exact same website and change the last number from a 1 to a number 2 in order to get to the information for the event that is being heard or the meeting that is being held on the next day, which is the 20th. Now, at the end of both of those, when you go into them, they each have a, Vimeo or Vimeo, VIMEO site, which I believe is the video link. The first one has 5 numbers. The second one has 3 numbers. So there are those of us in here that are wondering if something just got truncated, and that the link for the first video one is the same link that should be used the very next day. So just it looks a little like something got truncated.
So that is something that we are very interested in to see if it's real or if it's not. And if it is real, there's a lot of things pointing to it.
Something else that came out today. There's over 20,000 official votes that all the recordings and official tallies have mysteriously disappeared and are cannot be found.
One would think that if you did have all that stuff already logged, already recorded, let's say because Space Force was operational before they were officially operational, then perhaps all this information already exists, and they're just waiting for the right time and place in which to release it all. What else? Next, for the record, once again, I'm not dipping into all the crap that we've been that's been going on around, but there are 4 things that I need to just say, and that is Jake is a liar, Isaac is a liar, the general, who's now the private, is a liar, and Zach Alam is Antifa. He's not a liar, but he's Antifa. So whatever it's worth, and that's all I'm saying, and we'll move on from there. We now have Mr. Dempsey with us. Mr. Dempsey, say hello. Hello. All right. Any words of wisdom there, Mr. Dempsey? What land out there?
Yeah, it is.
All right. What else? Do we have anything new on Clay Higgins? Because he had all that really great information about the ghost bus. Anything new there?
I haven't heard anything new, but the video that he has released about the ghost buses that you can see them going around the Capitol and stuff, that's pretty much gone viral. So it's being looked at in a lot of different places.
Wonderful. Has anybody seen that video or the documentary called Let My People Go that was released on Friday the 15th?
I haven't seen it yet, but I did bookmark it.
What's a step in the right direction?
Nicole said a lot of people said they love it.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. The only other thing that I've got here is where was it here? Oh yeah, it's already talked about SpaceX. That I found it interesting that SpaceX has launched their first direct-to-cell Starlink satellites this weekend, and that's the same right the next day, the very next day, Monday today. Space Force says they're operational. Wonder if the two are linked somehow. Starlink, get it? That was a space joke there. Oh, yeah.
A couple of us laughed.
Yeah, they were a little forced. What else? I don't know. What do you got? You guys.
Did you hear about Mark Zuckerberg spent about $100 million to build a bunker in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Mark Zuckerberg spent about $100 million to build a bunker home in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah, it must be nice. I wonder what land that's under. I don't know.
I think it just burned up.
I have another thing.
I know
I have a thing that says Apple to be banned from selling smartwatches in the U.S. beginning December 21st. Landmark decision prohibiting Apple from selling smartwatches in the United States beginning this week amid allegations of medical technology theft. The ruling comes as a legal dispute emerges over the technology Apple's smartwatches use to run their blood oxygen feature. The only model available in the U.S. will be the company's budget model. So there's that.
That's interesting. I'm wondering what is the big deal with monitoring your blood oxygen level?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay. I'll have to dig into that one if I can. That's a tricky one. They said that the Apple Watch is now banned, or will be banned in the United States, that you can't get their top model, you can only get their base model because it apparently gathers too much information. One of the piece of information it gathers is your blood oxygen level somehow. So it's got a
Did they say
some kind of
what?
information is
Alcohol
gathering.
level?
Hopefully
not. I bet they have
Oh no.
What do you guys? Yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll dig into that one some more.
All right.
All right. So as far as this Georgia thing goes, the reason that I really think that there is something absolutely to this is because we've had a number of people come back and say, well, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. It seems to be delayed. It seems to be canceled. It seems to be pushed back. But everything that we've got says that it is real. And when I said the website here, that is, I won't say it all, but sos.ga.gov/event/state election board meeting -1 dash is in there. You know, SOS doesn't mean, you know, SOS like Mayday. SOS is Secretary of State. So it is a .gov site with it doesn't have an agenda, but it has time, date, place. You know, it's a, you know, you go on Microsoft Outlook or whatever it is and set up a meeting. That's all the information is right there. I don't know. You mix that with a bunch of like the guys in here that are Qers, that they say, man, there's something coming on the 20th that has to do with D-Day, D-Day being decertification day. You've got the winter equinox. If you get into the what is it, the astrological aspect, which I'm not partaking in that, but I'm throwing everything at you to see what sticks.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And apparently the voice is wonderful right here. Okay, and then we got the 733,000 votes unaccounted for in Maricopa County. So, all right, guys, thank you for being out there and for braving the weather. And God bless you. God bless America. Anybody out there listening, get involved.
Love you, Patriots.
Okay, love you guys too. Go to Georgia. Go check out that Georgia thing. Go ahead, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Good night. All right. Good night, y'all.
We love you.
One Patriot say the Freedom Corner in the movie. Let like him.
Oh yeah. Nicole's famous. She's a celebrity now, and she gave me her autograph. She doesn't know it yet, but she signed a card earlier. I'm gonna sell.
Does she do a kick in it?
I actually don't sign the books.
Did she give her kick in it?
Sir?
I want to know if you had your kick in it. You know?
Oh yeah,
your famous kick. You know.
Yeah, it was pre-kick era, but you know, there's going to be more movies come out, so we have time.
I have people. Never mind.
They're going to do lunch next week.
Oh, hang on to Lily, but she
Just don't kick at that time. She'll be flying high.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota
to the hills of Ohio, across the plains of Texas,
North Dakota, folks.
we define the truth. Detroit down to Houston.
Go Midgets, state champion.
It's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
USA.
All the way.
USA.
All the way.
USA.
All the way.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us out here tonight. It's cold and windy, so we're gonna go. You pray for us, and we'll pray for you. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
All right.
All right. That looks like the end of the vigil. So just a couple things. One of the videos that he pointed to about the Georgia election. But first, I want to bring you the Brandon Straka news, if you guys are okay with that. Let me do that first. January 6th victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, at a time when it feels like there's absolutely no justice for conservatives or anybody who's connected in any way, shape, or form with January 6th, we have been handed a victory. I have prevailed on all counts against me in the civil lawsuit that was leveled against me by 8 Capitol police officers. From the very beginning, like so many other things connected with January 6th, this case was a complete and total lie. The plaintiffs in this case are 8 Capitol police officers, most of whom are black and brown. And they're all being represented pro bono by the Soros-funded nonprofit law firm out of Washington, D.C., Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. Here are the lawyers that drove this case to proceed against me. And these are the Capitol police officers who participated in this farce.
Calvary, Brian Evans, Latson, Marshall, Fortune, DeRoche.
What's really sick and twisted and disturbing about this case is that it not only exists by perpetuating forward the many, many lies being exploited by the left about January 6th, but also the many, many lies being perpetuated and exploited by the left about race. These Capitol police officers participating as plaintiffs in this case, mostly whom are black and brown, sued me, along with numerous other people, under the KKK Act, alleging a civil rights conspiracy against them, and alleging that this was a white supremacist attack against them. The lies that they concocted to drive their case forward included alleging that I engaged in the riot by joining with hundreds of attackers on the U.S. Capitol grounds, and that I appeared before crowds repeating Trump's false election fraud claims and made threats of violence to stop the count of the electoral votes. They go on to quote an example of that. Strzok told a crowd at a November 6, 2020 rally in Detroit that people are out of their effing minds if they think that we're going to sit down quietly and allow them to steal this election. Strzok proclaimed, "We are not going to take it," directed others to never ever back down, and pledged he would do whatever needs to be done to make sure that Donald Trump is victorious as our president for 4 more years. But I think that my favorite allegation against me by these 8 Capitol police officers and their Soros-funded nonprofit law firm was that I violently breached barricaded areas of the Capitol grounds and the Capitol building and attacked the police officers guarding the Capitol including the plaintiffs. So here's a fun fact. In this case, we actually entered discovery. And through the course of discovery, we asked the plaintiffs to identify exactly where they were throughout the day, their exact locations. And as it turned out, none of them were working on the side of the Capitol where I was. One of them was in Maryland at the time that I was at the Capitol. Nonetheless, I was being accused of violating these officers' civil rights, and I was also being accused of assault and battery against them. Even though, after being investigated by the FBI, the DOJ, and the January 6th committee for an entire year, I was never accused of any violent crimes and never accused of any assault and battery whatsoever in my criminal proceedings. Main reason why? Because I didn't commit any. Nor did I commit any violence of any kind, any vandalism, any theft, any destruction, and I did not enter the Capitol building. But more than 2 years later, after I was served in this civil lawsuit and $150,000 later defending myself, I have come out victorious in this case. All counts against me have been dismissed, every single one. The plaintiffs, aka their lawyers, were given the option to refile 2 counts against me in district court, to which my attorney responded to them, "Counsel, I write in hopes that we can conclusively end your client's misguided inquisition against Brandon Strzok. I appreciate the court's timing of the jurisdiction ruling. Before the ruling, Mr. Strzok produced all relevant documents to you. Those documents, along with the recent release of myriad video files from the Oath Keepers trial, show that even in the most creative legal fantasy, there is no causation between Mr. Strzok's presence, and that's all it was, presence, on the Capitol grounds on January 6, 2021, and your client's injuries, whatever they might be. If you file more lies against Mr. Strzok, for example, that he directed anybody to do anything tortious that day, we'll seek sanctions. We already have a strong case for some of Mr. Strzok's legal fees. You presented a conspiracy theory based solely on Mr. Strzok's public speeches and should have known and advised your clients that such does not a conspiracy make, whether under the Civil Rights Act or basic tort law. These lying, unethical, race-baiting scumbags got back to us with a letter signed by all of the Soros-funded attorneys and the Capitol Police officer plaintiffs stating, this case is over. Chalk up a win for the good guys. Let's never forget who these people are. And what they tried to do. It can be very discouraging as the left has weaponized our courts to abuse us. But we won this battle. So hang in there, Patriots.
So that's interesting. What do you guys think of that? I thought, and this other one I have not watched yet, but it is connected to the Georgia information that Jeffrey Sable just shared with us. I just looked it up and I've not watched the video yet. But let's take a look at it and see what this video is all about. Like I said, I don't know what this video about, but this is the link that is on the Georgia government Secretary of State December 18th and 19th meeting. So maybe it'll get into something else. I'm not really sure. I don't understand this yet, but let's continue.
Angels that love devils turn this beast into butterflies. Angels that love devils turn this beast into butterflies, into butterflies. Into butterflies. Into butterflies. Angels. Angels.
I gotta say, this is very, very odd. I don't understand it. I don't know if anybody has anything to say about this. I'll finish watching it out, but it is very strange, and especially to be connected to or linked on a Secretary of State Georgia website. It's just really, really, really strange.
Angels in love with devils.
Interesting. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But it says our dreams, our hopes, are forever. Angels into butterflies. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand why that is linked to a governmental website for the state of Georgia, Secretary of State. I don't understand it. I have no idea what that's about. But I thought we would check it out just because it was about the December 8th. That's the December 19th. There's a different video linked on the December 20th. But I'm not even going to go bother to look at that because that was strange enough. I had enough. I can't take that. That was a weird video. I don't understand what's going on there or what that's about. I have no clue. But yeah, my IQ just dropped too. I don't understand it. But anyways, I thought we would check it out together, so that's what we did. That's all I have yet. The 19th and 20th. It's really, really, really strange. But there was a lot of great things that are coming out here lately, guys. There's so much news, so many things. The election stuff that's coming out. Everything that seems to be coming out, guys, is stuff that was all said was conspiracy theories, or there's no evidence of election fraud. There's none of this election fraud stuff. Yeah, maybe so, Tammy Green. I don't know. I don't even get that, but we're not going to go into it. And I'll see if I can get my camera fixed before tomorrow night so you guys can see my pretty face. But we're going to go ahead and pray this out, guys, and we will see you all tomorrow. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just pray that you will just continue to bring justice for America and bring America back to you, Lord. We need you. We need you, and we need to remember our battle in this fight, and that battle is prayer. And if we continue to pray to you, to let you lead us in this battle and guide us and direct us, and we follow you the way that you would have us to do, Father. We just remember that, trust, have faith, and do what we know to do, and take the steps that you put in front of us. We have faith that this country and all the world can be brought back to you, and we can have some sort of semblance of a godly country again, because that is what this country is founded on, was you and your morals and your Bible, your word of God. This country was founded on the word of God, and we need to get back to that, Lord. And we pray that you will just continue to bring us back to that, because I see winds coming. I see things that are happening. And Lord, I believe that you are moving, and we just want to pray that you will continue to do that and bring justice to everybody that's been so wrongly done, Lord, and just continue to move in our lives. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys, that is all I have for you tonight. That site here, let me see if let me put that site up for you guys real quick, that link. Just one moment, and I will share it to myself and then share it over to you guys real quick. Just give me just a moment. Copy. Let me send it over to myself on my. One second, and I will bring it up. I will bring it up for you in just a moment. All right, here it is. Let me copy this. Copy link address, and we'll put it in the chat for all of you guys to be able to see. I don't know if Zinc had court today. I don't know. I was too busy to follow up with that. But this is the link. You guys can go over and check that out. Find out what that's all about. It's a long link. I hope it all fit on there so you guys can check that out. It's really odd, but does appear to be a state election board meeting. State of Georgia, Georgia Secretary of State, sos.ga.gov/event state election board meeting 1, and that was the video from meeting 1, the Vimeo link. And then you can go to more events, and here, I'll just click on the link and we'll just show you real quick. We will just show you real quick. Or I can't click on it. Well, here, one second. Let me do it this way. Paste. Share this tab instead. All right, you guys can see this, right? So this is the website. And when I scroll down, December 19th, location, Georgia State Capitol, room 341, Atlanta, Georgia, 30334. December 19th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. The Vimeo link is right there on the left side, just underneath what I just read you. Now, if we go over here to click on View All, we can click on the December 20th event. Let me read more. And it's got another Vimeo link, guys. I don't know. Should we look at it? Should we look to see if it's another weird link or what? Copy. Let's see what kind of weird link this is. I'm not going to play it all if it's like that last one, but let's check it out. 8, 9. Okay, it is not showing. It's not showing like the other one did. Let me go back and make sure I had the right link on that other one. Just real quick, because that was weird. I just want to verify that I had the right link on that. Give me 1 second. 89889. Copy. Paste. It's the same stuff. I'll show you what that brings up. So this is what it brings up when I put that link in. I don't understand it, but there's a few, it looks like really, really weird videos. If you guys want to go check those out yourself, I don't understand them. They look totally weird, and I don't understand why they are linked to the Georgia website, but that is what it shows. Very, very odd, if you ask me. I don't know what that's about. That's the link that is on the website, the Georgia website. I mean, it looks like a valid website. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. What has Brad Raffensperger been watching, guys? I don't understand it. SOS office. Yeah, I mean, this all looks legit to me. If it's not, I don't understand. So this is what I'm looking at. This all looks legitimate to me. It has elections, charities, business, securities, licensing, Secretary of State, Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. And look, if you notice, the seal says 1776. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, State of Georgia, 1776. I don't know, you guys. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that is what it shows. 2 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. It all looks like a official website to me. I really don't know. It's very interesting. Very weird to me. So that's it, guys. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you all tomorrow. And it's been a good day, and we'll have another good day tomorrow. Jeff shared the meeting link and talked about that. There would have been links. Yeah, but those videos are odd, and I don't even know how to describe them to Jeff. But that is weird. You guys all have a great night. Love you all. Freedom Warriors out.